Well, hello, welcome to another edition of Take 5. It is Monday, December 26, 2011. We are in Luke chapter 9, verse 43b. But while they were all marveling at everything he was doing, Jesus said to his disciples, "Let these words sink into your ears. The Son of Man is about to be delivered into the hands of men." But they did not understand this saying, and it was concealed from them, so that they might not perceive it, and they were afraid to ask him about this saying. All right, let's stop there for a minute. He says, let it sink into your ears. Let it get down deep in there. I'm trying to tell you something. I'm trying to get your attention. I'm about to be delivered into the hands of men. And it says they didn't get it. It says it was concealed from them. Now, I wonder who concealed it and why was it concealed? Well, I don't know. It could be God the Father was concealing it from them because he didn't want them to get all worried about it. Could be it was concealed because of their own lack of understanding. Don't know. But anyway, it didn't get in there. But that was Jesus' purpose, was to come to die. You know, we just celebrated Christmas about the birth of a baby, and that's cool. But he was born to die. Unfortunately, he came to die. Anyway, let's move on. Verse 46, an argument arose among them as to which of them was the greatest. Okay, if this last message Jesus tried to give them had sunk in at all, this next argument would not have come into being. They would not have had a discussion. They wouldn't be arguing because they would understand the importance of what was going on. Too important for arguments. And I would just say this, for the most part, whenever there's arguments, it's because we're missing a big picture. And these guys were certainly missing a big picture, but we do it all the time too, and we like to argue about stuff. So we're just kind of like them. And then verse 47, but Jesus, knowing the reasoning of their hearts, took a child and put him by his side. This is so good. You're going to love this. And said to them, whoever receives this child in my name receives me. And whoever receives me receives him who sent me. For he who is least among you all is the one who is great. All right, check it out. Jesus' answers to questions, or in this case it wasn't a question, it was just a thought they were having and a discussion they were having, is mind-boggling because human wisdom could never have come up with this kind of stuff. So they're trying to figure out who's the greatest. And I would say Peter would have a good shot at that, or maybe John, one of those guys, or James. Peter, James, and John were the three that went up on the mountain, so they would be at least the top three in the discussion. I don't think the other 9 would even really get much of a vote in there if I was voting. But that's not the way Jesus handled it. He doesn't even say it. He basically says, it's none of you guys. You think you're the greatest? It's none of you. And he gets a little child. He says, you know what? Whoever you think is the least, I think is the greatest. Now remember a few days ago, we had that girl that everybody else said was dead. Jesus said was alive. His opinion is what matters. So just look around your fellowship. Look around your church. Whenever you think, who's the least one? Who's the lowest disciple here on the totem pole, in my opinion? I mean, who just ain't got nothing going for them. In God's eyes, they're the greatest. And you will kind of wrestle with that and figure it out. So you need to start, it's the opposite. Whatever we think, it's usually the opposite of the way God thinks, isn't it? So whoever you think is the least, like, I don't know, I can't even hardly stand to be around that one. Or there's just nothing worthy in that one. That way they don't have any gifts, they don't have any talents, they don't give anything. Whatever. They're not very good looking, they don't have a sense of humor or personality. God says, that's the one. It's like it's none of you who you think it is. That's why he brings a child. How could a child possibly be great? A child who's done nothing. Jesus says, that's who it is. All right? Whoever you think it is, isn't. That's who it is. Whoever you think it isn't, that's who it is. In other words, just treat everybody that way. That's the point. I believe Paul said to the Colossians, might have been the Ephesians, I get those books mixed up a lot. He says to consider others, actually it's Philippians, now I finally got it. Consider others better than yourselves. So, just digest all that and wrestle with it. It's mind-boggling stuff, but it's true. And you come back tomorrow for the next edition of Take 5.